I recall when the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer was the most popular one out there. Everyone was talking about it and trying it out and buying it, but I wasn't one of them. I was pretty late to the party actually for the Tarte Shape Tape because I just now arrived. But at least I arrived, so I guess it's okay. Nonetheless, I didn't try it out when it was super popular, simply because I had a lot of concealers already. I've actually had this for a long time, just kind of sitting in my makeup collection, because I didn't want to open like 20 concealers at once. I wanted to kind of actually be able to use them up and enjoy them. So only now I have gotten to the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I have been looking forward to this because they have so many good reviews and a lot of good things are said about them just overall. In case you would rather want to read this review of the Tarte Shape Tape, then you can also go to my blog. I will put a link down below in the description, so you can go to my blog instead of reading, listening, watching, instead of being here. You can do both if you want to. For their words, the stuff that they say they are good for, I have written down quite a few things. I will just put like the text box up here so you can also see it while I read it for you. But overall it says here that try our iconic concealer and find out why one is sold every 12 seconds. It gives complete coverage, gives matte and light finish, is easy to mix with other products, and the formula instantly helps with giving a lighter and smoother skin while giving a firm look. So, why did I even choose to review this concealer? That's like the first thing I usually talk about. What are my thoughts about this? And I have been looking forward to trying this out because it have been talked about so much. It was really popular at once, and perhaps the most popular concealer that was actually out there, and it just has a lot of good reviews. That's mainly why I wanted to try this out, and also I find it really cool that it comes in so many different colors. I could find, I think, 27 or something like that colors out there, which I think is quite a good feat to be able to do, so that's really nice. For applying the concealer and the feel of it, it is the perhaps smoothest concealer I have ever used. It's really creamy, really smooth, kind of velvety when you put it on, and it does go on in quite a layer. It's very pigmented. So I used way too much the first few times I actually used it, because I thought it was like all my other concealers where I kind of have to put quite some on, I guess, to actually get an effect. But I didn't really need that much here to get a really good coverage. So that's a good thing. It was easy to put on, glided on nicely, and was blended in well with my beauty blender, and it gave pretty good coverage. It also felt nice, like on the skin. I didn't feel like I actually had concealer on when it was blended into the skin. It just felt nice and natural, and I actually ended up working out without putting anything else than concealer on the other day, so it is really nice. You don't really feel it on the skin, which I think is pretty good actually. For how well it did, I guess, it covered my imperfections pretty well. Not completely, but it did do a good job, especially since I have a lot of imperfections that are quite hard to cover up. And it did stay on until I took it off. I think I had it on for approximately 8 hours. That's like usually how long I wear makeup, and it stayed on pretty much for all that time. So that is very good. The only thing I noticed was like I had a bit of creasing right around my eyes here, and I'm not sure if that's the concealer's doing. It could be because, well, one, I put on way too much concealer, so perhaps I just overdid it. That might be why. But also I have slept really bad for quite a while, so it might also just be because I have bags under my eyes right now. I don't know which one of it is, or if it's just because I have problems with this concealer, but not really a problem that's too bad, I guess. since it does cover up like all the darkness under my eyes anyway, so it's still better than nothing. For the packaging of this, to be honest, I absolutely hate it. I detest it with all of my heart. It's been a while since I felt like this about a packaging for pretty much anything, but I really don't like it. The purple and the gold colors kind of clash for me, and the design of the pattern just looks really undignified, really cluttered, and kind of annoys my eyes when I look at it. So it's definitely not a concealer that I like looking at, that I like the packaging of. But the packaging itself is fine. I don't mind the doe foot applicator. I don't mind like how the bottle is made, but I just don't like the design and the colors. It is so cluttering for my eyes, and I would rather not have to look at it at all. The scent, it pretty much smells like paint, and the labels are vegan and animal friendly. For the ingredients, I do have quite a bit to say, because there are like two overall things I would like to talk about. Like the first one is that there are so many different types of fragrance in here. And the thing with fragrance is when they put on fragrances or perfumes, just the term fragrance itself, you don't know how many there actually are. But nonetheless, every single fragrance that is in here can potentially be irritating. So putting a lot of fragrance in here I find really not like a good idea, especially because, as I said before, the concealer itself smells kind of like paint. So it's not like they put in something to make it smell nice. It just still smells like paint, and I don't really understand what all the fragrance is doing in here. It's not so much a product, since it is a makeup product. It doesn't matter as much, because you put the product on your skin. It doesn't go into the skin or sink into the skin like a mask would or a cream would, so it's not as much as a problem, but there are still a lot of fragrances in here, and I don't see the necessity for it. The second thing is the way the ingredients are listed. There are a lot of good ingredients, but there are also a lot of fragrances, as I said before. And there are just in this point I'm trying to make, there are two things wrong. And the first one is that the ingredient list is usually made so that the thing that's the most of is like first on the list, and then it just goes down until the thing there is the least of. And the problem with this is that a lot of the bad ingredients is like high on the list, or a lot of the good ingredients are low on the list. So either there is a lot more of the bad ingredients in this than there are good ingredients, or the percentages of the good ingredients are not to be found, I guess, because at some point in the ingredients list there is like a point that says 1%. They don't tell you where it is, but at some point, if there's less than 1%, they can choose themselves where they want to put it on the list. So either there's more fragrance in this than there is good stuff, or all the good stuff are so few, like there's so little of the good stuff that it doesn't really matter to me. So I find that quite weird that they have chosen to do it that way. I feel like they could just leave out a lot of the fragrance and there wouldn't really be a problem, because the good stuff is actually really good. I will go through the good stuff now. I will put it up for you too so you can see it, but I will also read up everything that I looked at that kind of sparked my interest, all the things that I think are really good in here and all the things I think are bad. For the good stuff, we have helianthus aniseed oil. This is sunflower seed oil. It replenishes, strengthens and soothes the skin. It's good on dry, dehydrated or compromised skin and can help reduce signs of stress or irritation to the skin. Tocopherol is a form of vitamin E and an antioxidant. Butyrspermum parkii, that's shea butter, and it has smoothing properties. It's a rich source of antioxidants and has skin replenishing fatty acids. Then it's also great in products for dry skin. Titanium dioxide, that's a thickening and whitening, lubricating and sunscreen ingredient. So it protects against UVA and UVB radiation. Glycyrrhiza glabra, that's like a licorice root extract. It is soothing and anti-aging and also helps dark spot fade and even the skin tone. It is also an antioxidant. Then we got Leontopodium alpinium edelweiss extract. It's an antioxidant and skin soothing, then it can strengthen the skin's barrier and help the surface become more resistant to environmental aggressors. And Mangifera indica, that's mango seed butter, and it's an emollient that's a rich source of fatty acids and skin soothing ingredient. For the bad stuff, we also have quite a few, and that's mostly fragrance, as I said before. We got Amyl Cinnamol, which smells like jasmine or jasmine. It's a fragrance and can therefore be sensitizing. Benzoyl salicylate is a fragrance with a sweet floral scent, and it can cause negative reactions even in small amounts, which is really not a good thing. Hexyl cinnamol is a jasmine-like fragrance and can be sensitizing. Limonene is again a fragrance from citrus oil, pine trees or species of mint. It can be sensitizing when exposed to air, but otherwise is actually a strong antioxidant and can calm the skin down. Linalool is a fragrant component made of lavender and coriander. It can be sensitizing. And then we got fragrance/perfume. And this one can also be really sensitizing, especially because when they use the term fragrance, we don't really know if it's like one thing or 20 fragrances they have put in it. They don't have to disclose that, they just have to say there are fragrance in it. And then hydroxycitronella is a synthetic fragrance here, and it smells a bit like lily. It also can be sensitizing. Concerning the claims now. They said like it should give good coverage here. It did give good coverage. I think they said perfect coverage. I didn't get that, but I did get a really good coverage. And concerning how much my skin is breaking out and looking not good, that's actually pretty good that it's just doing a lot of work. And it is. So it is pretty good at covering what it has to cover. Then it's also very lightweight and doesn't feel like stuffy on the skin. I'm pretty sure that was one, yeah, it had to be matte and light. Had a light finish. It did have that. It also gave like a lighter, smoother and firm look to the skin. I can see that's also one of the things it said. And then it was supposed to be mixed with pretty much anything, like your cream if you wanted to do that. I haven't done that because I have no need for it, but otherwise, like overall good coverage. It felt nice, smooth and light on the skin, so it was really nice. And it, yeah, I guess it did kind of do everything that it claimed to be doing, so I guess that's pretty good. Now for the price, I have kind of boiled it down, so I'm only doing Danish kroner and euros right now, because I have a trouble with the US dollar somehow. It always annoys me so much, but it's 240 in Danish kroner and 32 in euros, which is pretty good. And for the part like where I answer if I will use it again, I will definitely use it up. I am not sure if I think it's better than the concealer I already have. The concealer I already have I really like, so it is okay. It is perhaps like as good as the concealer I have now. It is a really good concealer, but I'm just not so happy about all the fragrance in there. That's really the only thing that I don't like. Perhaps I'll try, I think I'll try to find one with less fragrance, but perhaps the same results. But if you don't really care that much about fragrance, this is a really good concealer and it does its job and stays on for long. So I really can't complain about that part at all. So if there's any other thing you would like me to review, or if you have tried this before and think something completely else than I do, you can go tell me in the comments down below. I would love to chat. You can choose to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. You can choose to subscribe to stay for future videos, or ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload something. And I simply hope you all have a happy life, one day at a time.